Hello, welcome to my toy room / guest room. My husband's working from home today, so this is my office right now. Today is going to be a really exciting video. We're going to do 5 tips on getting started on your spiritual journey. However, if you've been on it for a while, I think these are still really good reminders. So I would say keep watching, even if you've already been at this thing for a good amount of time. Before I get started, I do want you to know in the little description box below, I will have a link. I have a free 6-lesson video, pre-recorded little mini course all about connecting with your spirit guides. So if that's something you might be interested in, I do teach using a pendulum, automatic writing, meditation, and using oracle and tarot cards, all connecting with your spirit guides, all for free. You just click on the link, put your email in, and you're good. Okay, so 5 tips. I took notes so I don't totally ramble on this one because I could talk about this for hours. So tip number 1 is going to sound so ridiculously simple. Follow what interests you. I think in a way we're programmed to kind of keep lining us up with our most aligned path. And if something is interesting you or intriguing you, or you're curious about it, follow it. I remember at the beginning, I still take this advice, but if you see someone else doing something and you're like, I kind of want to be like that person. Like you see someone that's like, I just signed up for Reiki 1 and 2, and you're like, I don't even know what Reiki 1 and 2 is, but like, I want to be the one saying, I just signed up for Reiki 1 and 2. That's a sign. Follow it. Or if you're just, browsing on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and you're like, oh, they're talking about like human design and numerology, follow it. You see people keep talking about pendulums and you're like, that sounds like I'm a little freaked out maybe, but that sounds really cool. Maybe I want to do that. So super simple. Just follow what interests you. If you just do that, following what interests you, you will be led down like an amazing, beautiful path. Even for YouTube videos, follow what interests you. So simple, but so helpful. Tip number 2. You need to remember that there are so many people to learn from. I'm one of them. There are many, many people. There are many, many books, many, many courses, many gurus, many workshops, blah, blah, blah. You need to remember that you are number 1 in charge of you. So just because there's all these teachers saying all these things, you need to remember on your own spiritual journey, you are the one in charge. You are going to know best for you. Sometimes, yes, we have blind spots, and then that's great when we can have mentors and teachers to help us with that. But for the most part, you know what's best for you. You're programmed. Like you've written this into yourself. You've coded this for you. So if you're looking or listening to someone and you're kind of like feeling a little like a little off, or your stomach feels a little weird, or just like a little like repulsed, their teachings just might not be for you. So really getting good at discernment, really getting good at just feeling into or knowing whether something resonates with you and it feels in alignment or whether it doesn't. When I do my teachings, I do also have like a online video membership where I basically just teach like a ton of mini courses. So each month I add a new mini course for only $27 a month right now. Who knows if you're watching this in the future. But I do teach using a pendulum on there and body testing. For me, that's the biggest way besides just feeling into your body. Being able to discern, like, is this teacher for me? Is this course for me? Is this book for me? Being able to get those answers yourself can be really, really helpful and help you guide yourself on this journey, and also help you not have too much noise, because there are so many people out there, which is amazing. But sometimes it can get really overwhelming not knowing like which way to turn or who to look at or who not to look at. So getting really good, just feeling into your body. Does this feel aligned with me? And listening to yourself. You are your own guru. Everyone else is like second to you for your own journey. We're all really on an even playing field. Okay, Number 3 is, I feel like the one that most people don't like to do. I know for me, if you're like me with this, it's so easy to get like wrapped up in all the like activations and learning and like total out there concepts. It's so easy to forget to be human. So my tip number 3 is, don't forget to be human. We're here, we're having this human experience on purpose. We're not having this human experience, in my opinion, to only figure out like what happened in like your past lives or your parallel lives or whatever, or what kind of starseed you are. I mean, that stuff's fun, don't get me wrong, super interesting to explore and can be healing for this lifetime, but just remembering like you chose this human experience on purpose. You don't want to like let it pass you by and then realize you missed out on all the human experiences that you signed up for. Like, why are you actually here? Besides your kind of like probably your other missions of why you're here, but you're also here to be human. So like enjoy the human things, figuring out like, what the heck do I even like? Like, what does human self, you know, whatever your name is, what does my human self Amy like? That I'm still working on that. That was one of the biggest things, like a catalyst in the beginning to my journey was like, I didn't even know what I liked. And so just figuring that out. What do you actually like? Make sure you're doing things that like the human part of you likes and enjoys and feels good. Because it's so easy to stay up in like the ethers when we're like into all this really cool stuff. Just remember to come back, get grounded. What do I like? And also paying attention to the relationships around you that you do want to keep in your life. It's very easy to pull away from those relationships, especially as you go on your own spiritual path, because most likely they will have a different spiritual path and you will need to either learn how to grow together on your own paths wherever they're going, or you'll need to grow apart. So it can be much more beautiful when we can learn how to both honor each other's paths. So just also keep that in mind. Just because you're on this spiritual journey does not mean the people closest to you are going to be on this spiritual journey or even fully understand it, because they're most likely coded for a different kind of spiritual journey. Of course, it's possible that two people come together and are working on a mission together, but most likely it's you're on your very own paths and you're both navigating those own paths by yourselves and together. So don't forget about the people that you do want in your life and all the human stuff that you are here to experience. Okay, number 4. This one's fun. Discover what abilities you already naturally have. Sometimes this might mean needing to look back in your childhood a little bit, because a lot of us turn our abilities off because they're scary. When you're a little kid, they're scary. It doesn't make sense. Most people don't grow up in a household where their parents are going to take them seriously when they say there's like a dark something in the corner. It's your imagination, blah, 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 whatever. So a lot of kids will just turn it off. So you might need to think back pretty far. What did you experience as a child? And then also, like, what are you good at now? A lot of people don't realize, like, even just being empathic, that is a superpower in itself. Being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes and feel their feelings is a superpower. That's huge. Clairsentience, right? Being able to feel, huge. With that, we need to also be able to discern, am I feeling their stuff or am I feeling my stuff? So that's something else that I do teach a lot of in that library, because yes, it's really cool that we can feel other people's stuff, but we don't want to take that on as our own. It's not ours to hold and take on. And a lot of empaths take that on as their own, and then it eventually manifests as like physical stuff going on with your body, and it's not even your energy. That's their lesson, that's their stuff that they need to work through. It's not for you. So just keeping that in mind. Maybe you're someone that I don't know. There's so many different abilities that you could have. You could just be good at feeling things. You know, when you meet a person and right away you're like, ugh, like you get a weird vibe, even though they're like smiling and everything they're saying is right, but your stomach and your body is just like, ugh, like no. That's a natural ability that you already have. Maybe you're someone that you know something's going to happen and then it happens. That's a natural ability. You didn't have to try to do that. There are so many things that so many of us do completely naturally. And so just notice those. Notice what you already are like here with and now we can just expand further on those and opening up more of your abilities as you go forward. Also remembering that one ability is not better than all the rest. I'm going to be doing a video on this soon about being able to see, like with your eyes closed, because so many of us, me included, it's like that has been like, I want to be able to see in this certain way. Seeing is not always the easiest either, though, because you have to decipher the pictures. Sometimes just knowing the answers can be even easier than that, or hearing them. And when I say hearing them, it's more like your own voice in your head that's talking to you. It's not always going to sound like an outside voice. For me, it does not sound like an outside voice. It sounds like my own thoughts, but they're moving at such a way where I'm not consciously thinking them, but I'm able to like repeat them back to myself. Some of you will have that naturally before you even begin to start purposefully expanding on everything. So notice what you already have, and yes, we can think about where we want to move to, but focus on what you do have, maybe what you did have as a child, that if you had it as a child, you can for sure open up to that again. Okay, last one. Not the funnest one, but really, really important to know. This is not all going to be easy. In fact, most of it might not be easy. I don't want to say it's all going to feel like SHIT, but a lot of it might. Because we have to move through a lot of junk to get down to who we truly are. Most of us come into this lifetime with a lot of baggage. Whether that's baggage from this actual lifetime, like childhood to now, whether that's baggage from when we were in the womb and we inherited things from our mother, what she was going through, whether it's past lives, whether it's parallel lives, there's so much that we can bring in that needs to be unraveled and kind of like come to the light. So it will feel like work. It will not always feel light. There will be a lot of emotions that need to be sort of purged out. It can sometimes literally feel like a purging. You can have physical symptoms. You can have headaches, literally purging. I don't. For me, it's typically headaches or anxiety is what I feel when I'm moving through things. So I don't know why I kept saying throwing up for a while there. Kind of gross. But it does happen to people. It can also ripple effect out to your household. So just also keep that in mind when you start working through these big things, especially when you start getting into the healing aspect of your spiritual journey, and whether that's healing past lives, whether that's healing present life trauma, whether that's healing and unraveling ancestral trauma type stuff. When you do that, it ripples out both ways. It ripples out behind you in a beautiful way and in front of you in a beautiful way. So your ancestors, and if you have kids, it can ripple forward to your kids, which is beautiful and so exciting. However, they could have physical symptoms, just so you know, for what you're moving through. My kids usually will get some sort of sickness, except it's not like a sickness where they get each other sick. It's like one person gets sick in a certain way when I'm moving through a lot of these big things. So just keep in mind, notice all the people around you, your pets, notice the people who live with you, notice the people that you're doing any sort of healing that's connected to. Notice it all, but know that even though it's not easy, on the other side of it, there's always a lightening. Like it's like you lifting something off your chest, a burden being lifted away. It's whatever you move through, it's always worth the healing that's on the other side. whatever it is, whether it's emotional, physical, past life, whatever. So just know it won't always be easy, but it really is always, always, always worth it. And you can go as slow as you want. This does not have to be something you go super fast. Although part of you, your higher self, whoever, probably coded you in for how fast this journey is kind of meant to take. So some of you are going to be moving faster than others, for sure. So I hope those 5 tips were helpful. I would love if you wanted to comment below your own tips, or if any of those resonated with you. I could have done like a 50 tip video, but I wanted to keep this as short as I could. So if you would share with other people below what your biggest tips have been, your biggest learnings have been, I think that would just be so neat. So when someone watches the video, they can look down below and just see so many like awesome ideas. So thank you for watching. Again, if you didn't sign up for the 6 weeks, well, it could be 6 weeks if you do one a week, but 6 lesson pre-recorded spirit guide, connecting with your spirit guides little video course, go to the description, sign up for that. I would love to offer that to you. And I hope everyone has a great day or night whenever you're watching this. See you again soon. Bye.